Okay, so I'm going to be moving a little bit quicker here just because I think you've got the general concept of where we're going with this here. So let me just continue here. All right, if I look at the blueprint over here, I can see that this appears to be the base height of the ceiling. So I'll select that segment there, and I can see that it's 20 feet. So that's my ceiling height. So I'm going to go ahead and take this edge right here. And let me see. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do that in a moment. Let me go ahead and take this floor right here. And what I probably want to do is attach this floor to basically the bottom floor section here. I can actually go ahead and do that right now if I want to. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. But first, let's take some of these walls over here, some of these edges over here that are going to be the walls. Okay, so I'll take all of these because I know that these are all going to be walls, and I'm just going to go ahead and extrude those up. And I know they have to go up to 20 feet, so I'll just put in 20 right there, and there we go. Okay, good. I'm going to take these edges down here and hit backspace. I don't need them, so I'll just get rid of those. Yeah, I'm not going to build the ceiling right there just yet. The next thing that I'm going to do here is, let me see. Okay, I'm probably going to go ahead and take this edge and that edge right there, and I'm going to pull these down. I'm going to make that thick part right there of the balcony. I'm going to go ahead and build that right now. Okay, so there we go. Now I want to know how high that goes. So let's actually just seal this up before we do that. Let's take this edge right here. Now you can notice that I have to move my camera around a lot simply because when I move it around, the back side of these polygons are pretty much blocking my view. So what's a neat trick we can use to fix that problem? Well, let's select this object here, whichever object that we want to go ahead and do this with. We'll right click and go to object properties. And you'll see an option here for the display properties called backface cull. If we turn that on and hit OK, you notice that we no longer see the back side of the polygons that we're not facing. So basically, for example, this wall over here, we can see it if we're facing toward its normals or facing toward the direction that it's looking at us from. But as soon as we come behind it, we can't see it anymore. So it becomes invisible, and this is extremely helpful when we're moving around objects that have back sides to them, a lot of back walls. Now you can see that we don't have as much of a problem maneuvering our camera around and seeing these little tight spots. So let's go back to the balcony here. Let's select that. Go to vertex mode. Oops, I had the wrong one selected. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and extrude that out in edge mode. Then I'm going to use the target weld method just to weld that right there, and boom, there we go. So now we have that little thick balcony piece right there, which is pretty neat. Okay, so let's see right here what we can do just to get this done pretty quick. Let me go ahead and select the blue object here. I'm going to go to vertex mode, right click and activate target weld. I'm going to target weld this vertex with that one down there, and there we go. That's going to give us our shape there, our starting point for our top staircase, which we're going to do in a moment. And we can do that pretty easily actually. I'm going to go ahead and select the top floor. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to attach. And what we can do is we can attach whatever object we select to it. In this case, a polygon object, which is the green floor down here. Once we do that, you notice that the green floor becomes a part of basically this beige floor. So now they become the same object. So I'm going to take this edge here, I'm going to extrude it, and very easily I'll just go to target weld and target weld that right there, and boom, there we go. That pretty much takes care of itself. Pretty neat. Okay. So let me see what else, what side am I going to work on here. I think at this point it's probably safe to say that we can go ahead and attach the first floor to the second floor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to select the first floor, open up the quad menu, and I'm going to click on attach again, just like we did before, and I'm going to select the second floor, and there we go. Now it's attached as one single piece of geometry, which is, well, pretty much what I want. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and go to edge mode. I'm going to select this edge right there, and let me see which other edges I want to select. I'll probably select this one, and this one. And let me see, I'm going to select this one as well. I'll just extrude these for now. So I'll pull these up. And I know that the floor here on the second floor, the actual ground levels, it has a height of about 12 feet. So I'll just put in 12 feet right there. And I'm going to extrude again. And this time I'm going to extrude it to 20 feet. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to take this polygon. And you can see right here we have one single polygon right there, which is obviously not what I want. So I'm going to do is select this edge and this edge. I'm going to right click and hit connect. Okay. I'm going to take this polygon here and delete it. So what I'll do now is I'll go to vertex mode. I'll activate target weld, and I'll weld those vertices right there, and I'll weld this vertex to that one right there. Okay. Alright, good. So now we got sort of that hallway right there punched in, and good to go. And the next thing I'm going to do is select this edge that's right there, then this one. I'm going to select these right here as well, and I'm going to extrude these. And I know that the base ceiling height is 20 feet. So with these edges selected here, and let me see here, I guess these are the edges that I'm going to pull up here. And over here, I'm going to have myself these edges here that I'm going to need to build a wall basically. So I'm going to take these edges that are right here. I'm going to extrude those. And I know that I need a base height of 20 feet, so I'll just take that up to about 20 feet. Let me go to vertex mode here and select the top vertices of this new wall that I built here. I'm going to put that to 20 feet just so it's exact, of course. And right here I'm missing a polygon, but that's no problem. I'll just go to edge mode, select one of these corner edges, extrude it, and then using the target weld method, I'll just target weld that, and it pretty much takes care of itself, which is perfect. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So far, so good. It's starting to come out. Okay, let's go ahead and let's work on this side, which I've neglected so far. So I'm going to come back to it, and I'm going to work on it. So I'm going to take these two edges right here from the back walls. I'm going to extrude them up, and I'm going to go ahead and take this up to about, I know it has to be 8 feet, just so this part here matches up with that little ceiling right there. And now I don't have to worry about this part matching up, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to extrude that up and take it up to the base height of 20 feet. There we go. Okay, so that part right there is done. Now my topology is a bit messy right now. I have like these extra edges all over the place. For example, here I have an extra edge. I don't really need that. I've got these extra edges here, which I really don't need at the moment. So what I can do here is make sure that I have this edge and that edge selected. Select that edge right there. Now watch what happens here. With those edges selected, just trying to find a good camera view to make it easy for you to see this. With those edges selected, I want to get rid of them. And if you remember, to get rid of them, we just hit backspace on the keyboard. And when we do that, it looks like we've got rid of them. And if we look around, well, everything looks like it's perfectly fine. But we have a problem. if I go to vertex mode, I can see that I have a vertex right there, the sort of lone vertex out there, which I really don't like, and I don't want it to be there. So let me hit Control Z to undo back to before I got rid of those edges. Let me go back to edge mode here. I want to make sure that I only get rid of these edges here. Okay. If I hold down the Control key when I hit backspace, it doesn't look like anything different happened. If you look around a bit, it looks like we're still doing the same thing as before. But because you hold down Control, if I go back to vertex mode, you'll notice there's no more vertex just kind of hanging out over there by itself, which can be kind of messy. So backspace gets rid of edges, but it leaves isolated vertices out there. But if you hold down the Control key while you hit backspace, any of those useless extra vertices that are kind of hanging out there by themselves are deleted along with the edges, and that's a good thing in this case. So I'm going to select this edge here, hold down Control, backspace, and you notice here doing that caused a little bit of a problem. So let me undo that right there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to leave that alone for the moment. I'm not going to mess with it. Or actually, yeah, I am going to mess with it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to activate target weld. I'm going to take that vertex, weld it down there. Now I'm going to take that edge, hit backspace, and this time it didn't mess up. So you see, sometimes 3ds Max isn't smart enough to know exactly what you're trying to do. So when you get rid of certain components, in this case a vertex over here on this end and the edge at the same time, 3ds Max got kind of confused and didn't really know how to triangulate this polygon that was right there. So if I run into a problem, there's always 101 ways to manually fix that. The method I just showed you there by welding that vertex down there and then deleting the edge manually with the backspace key went ahead and fixed that problem for us very quickly and pretty easily. Okay. What I'm going to do here is take this edge, hold down Control backspace to get rid of that. If I go to vertex mode, I can confirm there's no extra vertex right there. Okay. I really don't need this vertex hanging out over there by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select this edge. And you can see we have ourselves a problem. We have an open area right there, which is not very good. So to get rid of that, let me go ahead to go to vertex mode, go to target weld, select that vertex, snap it down there. And you see, of course, that we have this sort of hole. That's not really a problem here. What we're going to do is go to polygon mode, that's 4 on the keyboard. I'm going to go to the quad menu, hit create, and I'm just going to create myself a quick triangular polygon there to fill that hole. And then I have this extra edge up here. So what I'll do is I'll take this edge, hit backspace to get rid of it. Now this looks like what we had before, but now if I take this edge, you'll notice that everything's welded together perfectly. So I don't have weird geometry with holes and things like that. Now if I take this vertex up there, go to target weld, weld it over here, and then I take that edge, hit backspace to get rid of it. Now I have myself this really nice sort of L-shaped polygon right there that's continuous. So it just looks really nice. Okay, so if I look around, I have pretty much most of my walls done on the first floor and on the second floor. The only thing that's missing is to pretty much work on the front entrance here. We still have this open hole here in the wall, which is obviously no good. But I'm going to end this video here because it's been going for a pretty long time. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and just finish up this area here and move on.